Hey everybody, Jim Malone here, coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. Oops, we had to remove that. We had to move that Facebook, but we're live. Yeah, there we go. We're live. We're live. It is Friday. Wow, the market is in correction. It is. The trend is, well, the trend is your friend. So that's what they say, anyways. It's not my friend today. I had to close a bunch of positions, and I've been doing that for the last few days. But the market, overall market, is down. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody. Nobody's surprised at that. At least if you're surprised at that, wow, that's not a good thing right now. So let's get into some of the slides and to get that on the road for the Friday. And I hope I hope everybody is doing good today. Well, that's not the right, saw my desktop there. That was pretty exciting. So let's get the right, actually the right one. Okay, goodness gracious, my entire screen. Okay, well, okay. Well, that doesn't seem to want to come up there. Wow. Okay, well, that's not good. Let's see if I can get that share again. And okay, share screen. Well, that's my entire screen. Okay, so that, oh, I see. Okay, so that's what I want, definitely. That is indeed what I want. So let's put up the, there we go. Okay, so now we should be cooking along. And well, that didn't work either, did it? Hold on. See if that, there. now we're all there. Again, technical difficulties. This is a pretty short slide deck today, so we'll just get to it. Basically, well, we're in this, we're in a correction. And when you're in a correction, when the market is a correction, the best thing to do is to kind of, take a step back and, look at your winners, try to sell, try to take some profits, try to get into cash. I'm over 75% in cash. I do have some things that are up, but I'm over 75% in cash right now. It's just, time to build that watch list. I have some suggestions possibly for people out there, how we can build our watch list and, and just go from there. I have a hopefully a link that I can put up on the screen that should allow us to see some more of that stuff. So, to see the watch list that I have. I did do a bear put spread today on Dupont, so that is out there, everybody. And if everyone wants to take a look at it, pretty easy. Pretty easy to do. I will hopefully get a, let's see if I can get the link up there for you on that. But it's a bear put spread, and I think it might do well in this market. Dupont is getting weaker, and it's currently available. You can get it basically by going. Let's see. Let's put the let me put up the let me put up the address. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Oh, there we go. Let me put up the address there for it. Oh, there we go. Okay. So all you need to do is go to www Dallas Trading Floor, and it's the first link on there. It's the first link on there. And by the way, for everyone that's watching on TikTok, I'm broadcasting on YouTube as well at youtube.com/Dallas Trading Floor, right at this address. So just go to www Dallas Trading Floor, scroll all the way down to the bottom on the list, and you'll see the live version that I'm doing on YouTube. That has all the charts and everything on it. So that's a good way to go there as well. And I'm going to get into that in just a second. But basically, what this spread does, this is a bear put spread on Dupont, and basically the cost on it is essentially $203. That's when I got into it, by buying one 67.50 put and then selling simultaneously a 60 put. The out of your pocket is 203, and you have a potential return in and hopefully by November 19th of November, a little bit before that, potentially you could almost more than double your money. I mean, you could basically get a 263.5% return if it stays basically above about that 67.50 range. So kind of an interesting trade, easy to get into, and hopefully, because the market, the market for buying stocks long right now, not so great, but but doing these spreads, and especially the put, you just could buy you could just buy the puts directly, but if you do that, of course, you have all the risks. If you do the put spread, you limit your risk, and that's the real key here, is limiting your risk. So, that's kind of that's kind of the long and the short of it. So let's see if I can show you that trade just kind of in more detail, and then once we do that, we can get um, um, a link for you. So, without further ado, Dupont, which, back in the day when I was a college student, that was back when the dinosaurs ruled the earth. It was a long time ago. Gosh, I actually went to school very close to Wilmington, Delaware, where the Dupont company is. But I just kind of want to show you this trade. It's kind of it's a good little trade, and it might be something that you might be interested in. Never can guarantee any outcome, but this might be something that you would be interested in. So, in order to enter the trade, Barry, you buy that 19 November 67.50 put, and then you sell simultaneously a 60 put for 69 cents. This is what I got this morning. It's in 203. What's my out of pocket? And this kind of gives you the long and short. This is composite rating, and I want to show you the chart because that's important. This is the chart for Dupont. As you can see, this has this downward trend. That's why, and of course, we're in a market correction. So, with this market correction, when the downward trend, that's kind of when we want to possibly do something like that. Here's the payout chart. Currently, this is where we entered it, and if it goes down, which I suspect it will, if it goes down about 10%, which I'm kind of expecting, because a market correction typically will go down about 10 to 20%. That's kind of what I'm expecting. Then we'll be in the pay zone here, hopefully by the end. So that is something that is kind of a cool thing. Now, in the deck, I'm including this link. And I'm including this link. So let me see if I can get that link up here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that link for everybody so they can see it, and hopefully this will work. Going down, yep, there we go, create a new banner. So this is the link to the Dupont Air put spread. All right, so hopefully this will work. Let's see if it does. I'm going to put it in there. So hopefully this will come up in the browser, on the screen here. There we go. Okay. So this is how you get access to this trade. You just go to this link, http://opcalc.com, and then it's capital BAT. And this is the actual calculation that I made here. But you can also get a link to the whole deck. So let me bring that up, and hopefully that will give us. And this is, oops. Dupont, well. All right, and this is a link to the deck, so everyone can see this. I'm kind of screwing around with it, but let me get that link up here, and this is the actual link to the deck. So if you do this link, you will see all my slides. And the other one was the calculation, which is also very, very good thing. So let's put that up. All right, there we go. No, there. There we go. Okay, so that is the link to the Dupont, the deck for the spread, for the link to the bear put spread on Dupont, and that is that is the link there to that. So so if you decide that that's something that you want to look at, it's a good. I think it's going to be a pretty good trade, and hopefully it will work out. Also, if you do subscribe to the action trade, if you do subscribe to the to our list, we will try to keep you informed with that, and with this. So if you keep looking in, we will show you hopefully how we're trading it. And I'm trying to get all this thing, all these little things together and making them all work. So sometimes it's better than others, but we will see. Hopefully you'll get on the list and we will be able to show you exactly how we're trading it, when we're closing it, and if we made profit or not. And of course, it's all free. So that is a kind of a good thing. So without further ado, let's get to some of the questions. Thank you for waiting. Thoughts on TNP? Well, let's take a look at TNP here. Let's just take a look at those charts. And okay. There. There we go. Wow. Sometimes it takes me a while, but we do have, that's a blue dot. What do you know? It's an oil and gas, which is one of the only areas, by the way, of the market that's doing really, really well, is oil and gas. It does look like it's a nice trend up. There's a buy point here at $11, and we're right at 11.61. So we just came through the buy point. Technically, we're above the buy range here, but because this is such a relatively low dollar stock, this is looking good actually. We've got an Easter egg here, and this little Easter egg thing means that this is the largest volume spike since the last base. That's right over here at 10.45. So that's kind of looking good. Let's take a look. The checklist isn't bad for an oil and gas. 67%. The only thing that's really lagging on is sales and earnings. So let's jump over and take a look at some of those fundamental things that are so important. Well, okay, I'm not liking that. We were off in terms of our sales for the last 2 quarters, and we're making some losses. Not really liking that. 15% funds, that's not bad. Lots and lots of cash flow. Look at that. That must be Tesco Energy Navigation, Greek provider of tanker services. How interesting. Okay, well then this is interesting. Well, this is in a good area. Tankers, the Greeks, interestingly, if I saw this great YouTube video, I probably should play it for everyone, but I saw this great YouTube video on the Greek shipping industry. And you know what? For a little tiny country, they do a big business in shipping. So this is still pretty amazing. So here's what I would say, Matt, on this one. I kind of like this one. Normally it's not, normally I probably wouldn't be in it, but I want to kind of look at the monthly chart for, okay, well, it's sort of been going down, 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 but maybe it's coming alive. I mean, this is sort of the counterintuitive play that we need. I mean, look at that volume. It's up 300 and wow, it's over 300% up. That's a lot, actually. That's a lot, especially for a stock like this. That is an awful lot. And by the way, if you're looking on TikTok right now, I'm broadcasting live on www.Dallas Trading Floor. Also on YouTube, youtube.com/Dallas Trading Floor. But right now, the market is in correction. And so it's a tough market. There's some sectors of the economy that are doing well. Not the techs, but shipping is doing well. And Matt brought up this about this company, this Greek company. So let's do a little bit of another. It's interesting. It's in oil and gas transport and pipeline. Very interesting. Number 34 out of 196. So let's see if we can find out more information on this. I'm going to close this panel and go over there to see Well, it's let's see. Okay, so oil and gas pipeline 32. So I want to go to the whole group here and just kind of look at it, really quickly to see, where we can. I want to look at the rest of this group because this group might be heating up. This group might be heating up. So I'm gonna sort the group, and I'm gonna go down to number 32. That's group number 32, and that's this oil and gas transport area. So let's kind of make it bigger there. Okay, so okay, so let's see what's in that group. Well, the stocks that are in that group. Okay, so we have a lot of. Most of these are pipeline. Kidder Morgan. So I don't know. This is interesting. This is should be in the pipeline group, but instead it is in the it's considered it's in the same group as pipelines, but it's a shipping company. So that is very interesting. So let's look at the top stocks. Yeah, it's right there. It's at the top. So and it's 5.6% above its all-time high. So that's very, very interesting. Okay, so I'm just looking at the big ones here. Oasis, I know about Oasis Midstream, of course. Look at this, Frontline. So, okay, well, this is very, very interesting. I want to kind of look at some of the other ones that are seeing, well, that's kind of a small firm too. So that's kind of, let's go back and see if there's anything else that we can see. But this actually looks fairly decent right now. I probably wouldn't buy this though, because again, it's just not TNP. It's just not big enough. And I think that this chart, on the monthly. Now this is starting to turn. This is definitely, yeah, this is something that you should have on a watch list. This might be, I don't know. Okay, here's what I would say on this one. Very tough to say definitively on this one, but what I would say is, you might want to consider a starter position on this one. And normally I don't like to do that. And in this market, it's probably not a good thing to be buying. So we got to just go smaller than we normally would. But consider a starter position, maybe I'd say 1/3 position. So maybe 1/3 size. Um, is the way to go. So instead of a full position, consider maybe a starter position on this one. I kind of, oops. Let's consider, oops, that's the link to Dupont. All right, gotta get rid of some of these. All right, so just consider a small starter position for now. 1/3. So I wouldn't put that much on. It's just you want to be careful because this chart it's pretty speculative. It's a relatively cheap stock, but we're right in the buy zone. So and it's blue dot special, so I say go for it, and that's really good. That's good there, Matt. And I thank you for that. I'm going to put that down in my list that I did this one TNP, and let's go to the next one. Thank you for that very much, Matt. Hello, Jim. What are your thoughts on CRDL? Okay, let's look at CRDL real quick. CRDL, Cardinal Therapeutics in the in the um, in the medical space. This is a startup. Here's the thing. I'd be really careful about this one. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit on it. Get a little bit bigger picture so you can kind of see it. There we go. Now this is definitely an IPO, and we're looking at the weekly chart here. This is that's what you kind of got to look at. You kind of got to look at the weekly chart. This is an IPO, so we've been out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So about 10 weeks. Not a whole long time. 70, 80 days here. Not a whole lot. Got a strong relative strength only because it came out of the box so strong. But there's a lot of selling here, so that seems to be that it may have turned the corner. Let's see if we can take a look on the daily, see if we can get any evidence. Yeah. Here's the thing, it's fallen through the 21-day line and the relative strength is down. Here's the thing, this might have been a good IPO. I think you got to watch this one. I don't think you can buy this one right now because this is going to pull back. That's kind of the that's kind of the thing here. I think it's going to, I think this is very likely to pull back. And you got to be a little bit careful. But so CRDL is very likely to pull back. Watch list only. Yeah, in this market, it's just really tough. I'm not really actively buying a lot in this market, just because it's, when you have these markets, it's tough because I'm not really actively buying this much. I'm trying to take short positions with the spreads, and I'm also trying to be just very selective, only in a few sectors. Oil and gas is one of the areas that I'm looking at. Shipping is another one that I'm looking at, but I'm being really careful when it comes to that. So here's the thing with that one. I think that CRDL Therapeutics, I just think you can really do anything with it right now. I think you got to go and just not do anything with it. But I would watch this one. I think that's really where you have to go on that one. So sorry about that. I'm giving you all this stuff. Okay, target on Toyota. Oh, Toyota's splitting. Very nice. Well, thank you for that information. Thank you for that information very, very much. Toyota is splitting. All right. Well, let's get a strategy. Let's get a strategy. Now this is one thing that I do. If you've been watching me any amount of time, everybody will tell you, splits don't matter, and but they do. They do. Believe me, they do, because only good stocks typically will split. So let's look at the Toyota split. Thank you very much for giving me that information. That's very helpful. Toyota stock split. Let's see what we got. Any information on that? Wow. Okay. Oh, it's a notice concerning. Okay. Minimum investment required. Oh, stock split aims to reel in small investors. Okay. Well, I definitely am in that category, and yeah, look at that. Interesting. Okay. So this is what's up in. Very interesting. Okay. So they're good. Yeah, this is a good idea actually. When they want to get. Okay. So. Let's see. Toyota's working on the first split. Oh, in 3 decades. Look at that. Okay, the number of loyal. Yeah. Okay, that's a very good idea, actually. That is a very, very good idea. Well, here's what I'd like to say on that. I probably would like to get back to you on that because that's very interesting. What I'm going to do here is look and see. Let's see. So on the American exchange, Toyota is traded as an ADR, and it's under TM. TM is the symbol on the American exchange. That's traded in New York. The primary shares trade, of course, in Tokyo for Toyota, but of course the ADR, the American Depository Receipt, that actually trades in New York, as you can see, New York Stock Exchange. And it looks like currently we're at 179. So that would probably let's just check in on that. That's very interesting news. I really like hearing that. I hadn't heard that. Okay, GM's third quarter sales plunged by a third after it idle stock. This is the chip shortage really going on here. Interesting, interesting, interesting. I wonder if, Toyota seems to have is having a little bit of issues with that, but not as much as GM and Ford. That's for sure. And Tesla's looking like it's gonna produce some really good numbers. So, by the way, everyone, if you're in on the spread that I have, it's one of the few bull spreads that I have on now. I have one on Toyota that's doing very, very. I mean, on Tesla that's doing very well. So this is interesting. This along with Tesla are my two favorite. My two favorite auto companies, Tesla and Toyota, and this is very, very interesting. So I'm going to have to get back to you on this. I think this is very interesting, and I hopefully will have something out. I'm going to do a little bit of research on this to see how we can benefit from this, because splits almost always will move the stock up. And if they're splitting and they haven't split in 3 decades, this could be a very, very good opportunity. I really appreciate that. The question is, where is the price target? Well, typically what will happen when a split is announced, and I want to go to the monthly chart here because that kind of gives us an idea. When a split is announced, we're almost at the all-time high. That's interesting. Okay, so let's look at the checklist on this. It is excellent. Interestingly enough, Toyota seems to be doing very, very well. Okay, the only thing it's got an RS rating of under 80, which means it's not quite in the top 20% of the market, but everything else is looking really good. So this is probably actually, not a bad time to split the stock. Let's kind of look at the competition in the industry, and I want to look at that a little bit, of course. And of course, we have Tesla, then Toyota. So they're 1 and 2, and then interestingly enough, the third is Ford. It's amazing because their stock price is so low, but that is interesting. That is actually very, very interesting. So that is something that is definitely something to look into on trading on trading Toyota. So let me see if I can get back onto the Toyota screen. All right, there we go. I had to reduce. There we go. I had to reduce there we go. Let's go back to the daily chart. All right, there we go. Okay, so this is the Toyota screen. Boy, and you're right. I mean, this is right now in a buy zone, just below a buy zone. Very interesting. This one was not on my radar. This is not on my radar, but this is the buy point here at 158.99. So the split could be very, very bullish. Okay, so here's what we can do. Let me just see if I'm going to find out a little bit more on this, but this looks like we could move into the stock, believe it or not, even though this market, I just don't like this market direction, but I like a split. So here's what I'll do. I will look into this a little bit more, and yeah, this is good. So I didn't give you really the definitive answer there, but I'm definitely going to put that on my watch list, and I'm going to get back to everyone on that. So we will do that, and thank you very much for that heads up. That was very, very good. What about Microsoft? Well, Microsoft is, and I keep telling this story, but in 2017, Microsoft was my best stock, and I've been in and out of it since, but it seems like it's lost a little bit of its mojo. It seems like it's lost. It seems like it's lost a little bit of its mojo. We did, it has been moving up very nicely from this consolidation. Currently, it's in the flat base, so it looks like it's reversing. So I wouldn't recommend getting into it in this point just because of the market direction, because I don't recommend adding to the positions right now. But if we didn't have this market if we didn't have a market trend in correction, boy, I would recommend this one. Relative light. So this is you kind of got to go on a watch list on this one. Unfortunately, will it trend higher? Well, if there's any tech stock that will trend higher, it's going to be Microsoft. But just due to the, it's not due to Microsoft, because I think this is actually a very good place to buy it. Actually, due to due to the market, just because of the market. So because of the market condition overall, watch list for now. So that's really kind of what I would recommend with this. We got to kind of wait again, and playing the waiting game is not a fun thing. But here's what I think you could start possibly coming in with a small position if it moves above the 40-day line, and that's right here. And it looks like after hours it's off a little bit, but this is good action. I mean, up 7.8% with with 23% increase in volume. That's all looking very, very good. But I just think in this market, it's just a tough market to it's just a tough market out there to be in anything almost. As a matter of fact, I want to show you sort of to give an idea of what I'm currently in and what the conditions are on my small portfolio. So let's take a quick look at that. I kind of want to show you the small portfolio that I've got. Okay. And for everybody that's watching on TikTok, I am showing everybody what my small portfolio is, the stocks that I have currently in that small portfolio, and kind of how they're doing, and kind of how they're doing. And this is something that we put out there. It's just it's a small portfolio. It's about an average size of, and so currently in that small portfolio, I really don't have a whole lot of stuff. I mean, basically what I've got is, on very short term, I've got Diamondback Energy, American Express. I'm down 2% on American Express. Salesforce, I'm down 3%, and then Dorchester Minerals. So I am really overweight, as you can see, and I'm really overweight in the in the oils. I mean, that's sort of the only area of the market that I'm really doing anything, and that kind of shows you the idea. In my small portfolio, I'm 42% in cash. Now, I've been moving to more. I've been moving to. I mean, I'm moving to basically 72%, 70% in cash. I will probably be eliminating some of these other. Probably if American Express doesn't improve, I'll probably sell it. The same with Salesforce. But as you can see, I have Diamondback Energy, and that as of late has been doing well. So that's kind of that's kind of the deal. Right now it's just a tough market to invest in. I'm primarily in the oils just because that seems to be where the action is. What I would like to show you, I'm doing so much show and tell here. Glad that you're following along. Is I have a watch list that you might be interested in, and this is this updates automatically, and I just kind of created it just so that everybody out there could kind of get an idea, follow along, sort of what I'm doing. So the Dallas Trading Floor watch list of stocks. You can see that by going to this, but to this link here, and I'm going to put this up in just a second. There we go. Okay. So if you go to this link, I think you can see it. It says https bit.ly bit.ly/3MD capital U RYD. And if you want to see the list of stocks that are on that list, that's where to go. And I'll kind of give you an idea sort of what I've got on that watch list right now. And I'm going to switch over there. Let's put it up there. And this should go. There we go. Okay, so this is the watch list This is the watch list that I have currently, and this is yeah, there we go, and this is updated for strength. This is updated for strength. Currently, my strongest stock on the watch list that's what's went up today is AR, Antaro Resources. That's the one based on what I'm looking at has the best rating. It's got an A plus rating and a relative strength of 99. So that's one you might want to look at as a potential buy. And again, I'm not really buying in this market that much, but the things I am buying are typically the oils. Another one that I like is CPE. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you the first. I'm not interested in Asana because it fell today, but I want things that are moving up, and then this Danos Corporation. So that's the DIC. So I'm going to look at these three here and quickly and get an idea of sort of of sort of where we can go in this market, because this is a tough market. I mean, I'll be honest with you. This is a tough market. When the market is in correction, you have to be doubly careful about what you buy, because even if the stock is going up, the market overall is going down, so it can be difficult. Now, let's look at the first one that I have on the watch list. This is Antero, Antero Resources, and anything pretty much with resources in it's going to mean that's an oil company. This is symbol AR. And this has moved, this is a little bit extended, but it has a double bottom. It's above the 1418 buy point. That's good. Currently trading at $19. Now, can you buy it in this level? Well, it does look like there's a little consolidation here. And if we do get this, if the theme of inflation is continuing, this one might break out. So I would kind of put this on your list. I wouldn't necessarily buy it. I wouldn't necessarily buy this one, but I would consider I would consider putting this on the so this is Antero Resources, and the symbol is AR, and that one definitely is has some strength. So that's the stock that we're talking about currently. And it's really within this range. I think we could possibly look at it. That's one of the ones you can look at. Now, also, in addition to that, I think we can also look at this on the Callum Petroleum CPE, and I want to see if this is in a proper bar. Yeah, this is actually probably a little bit friendlier in terms of its chart pattern. It still really isn't in a base, but it definitely probably could be bought at this level. We could definitely probably buy this at this level. Now, really, let's just kind of take a look at the checklist on this one. This has a 99. Yeah, this has a checklist of 89 and a relative strength of 99. This is one of the strongest stocks in the market right now, and it's CPE, Callum Petroleum. Now, obviously, if the market changes, we don't want to do that. But it's a little. The only reason this isn't 100% is because it's a little bit more than 15% off of its high, its all-time high. But other than that, this is looking very good. Now, there is an older buy point here that we can look at. It's on a consolidation basis, and it's the first stage at 42.31. Currently, it's at 50. So we are a little bit extended above the proper buy point, but this is still buyable. And this one you might want to take a look at, CPE. I'm not saying buy this. I don't own this one, but this is one that is very, very top rated. So that's the kind of thing I want to show you on that. Now I'm going to show you one more, and then I'm going to go back to the questions, and I appreciate you indulging me for that. But this is another one that in this market we want to take a look at. It's DAC, and that is the Danos Corporation. That is a shipper. That is a shipper. And it's a Greek shipping company, and this one is right now in the sweet spot. This one is buyable, and it's one of the few. It's one of the few out there. So this is buyable right now. and it's Danos, Danos Corp. And this is a Greek shipper. This is a Greek shipper, and they will do well right now with all this inflation. The stocks that are doing the best are and the oils and the shipping companies. So this is one that you might be able to take some quick profits on. I'm going to look into this possibly for buying this on Monday if it holds up. Now, I didn't buy this one today, but it's definitely on my radar screen. So this is the one I kind of want to show you right now. It's called Danos Corp, DAC. It's in a buy zone right now. It's right in a buy zone. So that's a very, very good thing. It's right in a buy zone. It definitely has a very good checklist. There's only one thing. It's only everything. It would be 100% on the checklist. It's in a great industry sector. Number 3 out of 197. That's very, very good. And look at that ownership. We have 58 funds, which is a lot for this particular area. This is the dry bulk carrier. This is one of the world's largest um, uh, uh, oil shippers in the world. And I think we're going to see a lot of oil shipment coming on up as we come to the end of the year, and also natural gas prices. This is probably the area of the market that is probably going to get the most love. So that's one of the ones that you might want to take a look at as well. DAC. And by the way, if you want to see that watch list, super easy. I'm showing it on it. You go to https://bit.ly/3 lowercase md capital U R Y D. And of course, if you're looking on TikTok, this is available on the YouTube site. You can see this. You can see these right now just by going to my profile and then scrolling down to the bottom of the page. By the way, if you want to be on the action trade alerts, I'm going to probably put out an action trade alert with these 3 names tonight, but you got to be on the action trade alert. So back to the other things. So thank you for bearing with me. All right. Does IBD? That is a very good question, by the way, Mark. Yes. As a matter of fact, I did. Part of the reason I had a short today, part of the reason I've been looking at a stock to short today came directly out of the IBD, and it was primarily with this weakness on this weakness on um, on the weakness on Dupont, and that's sort of this slide deck that I have here. I didn't really short this one. This is a bear put spread, so it's a limited risk trade in that the maximum risk is $203 per contract spread, but the return potentially, of course, is $547 per contract spread. So a lot different. Now, with this one, of course, we are looking to see if the price of the stock is going to move lower. Let's take a look and see how Dupont closed today. I think actually Dupont closed up a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. But let's just kind of take a look to see kind of what is the deal on that. So the symbol for Dow DuPont is DD, of course, and it did charge up there a little bit. So we do have, it did close at 69.15. So let's look to see how that would affect this particular, how this would affect it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put the price in there to show everybody, hopefully. There we go. All right. So it closed at 69 today. There we go. Let's insert that image. Okay. Okay, well there we go. All right, it did go there. All right. So this is where we closed today. This is where we closed today at 69.15. So the value of this spread, the predicted value of this spread, is going to be, well, Okay, so we're a little bit in the red. So yeah, okay. So right now, if you did everything the way I did it this morning, you would be down a little bit on this trade. But I do believe that this is going to see some weakness. So the predicted value for this trade currently is negative $20 from the beginning of the day. So that is not looking as good as we would like. Because in the morning and today we started out the day at about 68, and we did close, of course. And let's go back to that chart right now. Flipping around a lot of stuff here, aren't I? Okay. Huh. Okay. The chart. I'm going to probably get what they call a little tool called a screen deck, because that way I don't have to do so many clicks to get all this stuff that I'm showing up. And I think that would work the best. But for right now, that's the situation with Dupont. As you can see, we have a downward trend. This is why I did this. This is why I did the bear put spread. As you can see, there's a downward trend. We have had the 40-day. This is called the death cross, where the 40-day moves below the 200-day, and you can see this is where I put on the trade. And so really what I'm looking for it to do is I'm looking for it to move basically down to this range here. And if it does, of course, it'll pay all the money. But right now, it kind of popped up there a little bit. It's off a little bit after hours. I do expect on Monday that what's happening is it's bouncing right up to this 21-day line, and then it's getting some resistance there. So hopefully we'll pull back down. And if we do, and that shows a lot of selling pressure, then hopefully the this spread will work. So thank you for that. Shorting is a little bit more difficult, but I'm going to concentrate now that the market is in a movement like this. I'm going to concentrate more on shorting opportunities in the market. Just keep tuned. All right, let's do thoughts on Merck. And Merck zoomed up today. It's funny. I had a spread on this one. I had a bull spread on this one, and I didn't have the insider information, which I don't have any insider information. And I didn't realize that they were going to get this did a gap up, and the reason it did is easy because they may have a COVID pill, which would be incredible. As you can see, look at this. Look at this gap up. It's after hours at 81.89. The key is to see how this thing is going to open on Monday, and I think that this one is probably going to open above the buy point, and the buy point is right here. So this is a potential opportunity in a down market, would be Merck. And I do think we're going to see a lot of people buy it. There's earnings are in 27 days. So here's what I would do on this one. I think this is a potential opportunity. Would be to possibly do on Monday to do a buy stop limit order on this stock. Here's what I think I may do on Monday. I haven't really made my decision up yet, but because of the breakout, on Merck, consider a buy stop limit order where the limit equals, and I'm going to go with the buy point here. I'm going to go with this old buy point, this 81.21 buy point. 81 is the limit, and the stop, excuse me, the stop is 81.21, and the limit is 81.31. Okay. Now, let's save that. So here's the thing. Here's what I think we could get potential. I don't think that, the updraft for Merck is ended, but we don't want to necessarily just blindly go in there and buy it, because typically after an event like this, you see, as you can see, I closed it literally closed my bull call spread one day before this happened. I couldn't believe it. I should have kept it open, but hey, but I still like this. I still like this. I closed it one day before. I should have kept this one. I would made some serious money on this one had I not. But it is what it is. So what I'm going to do on Monday is I'm going to go in with a buy stop limit order. And the buy stop limit order, what it does is if the stock moves up above the limit, the stop price, which is 81.21, and currently it's at 81.89, then an offer to buy it at 81.31 will go in. Now that's a little bit above where it is now, and it looks like it may appreciate in the after hours. But I do think that what will happen is in the first few minutes of trading, it'll probably pull back down, and we may be able to get in there with this one. I do think this is going to move higher, potentially a lot higher. So what I would consider is this is one I would put on my list to do on Monday. This is probably what I'm going to do. This is probably the trade that I'm going to do on Merck on Monday. So just wanted to put that out there for everybody. Let's see. Yeah, so you can see. I want to see if I can. There we go. You can see the Merck and Company. And this is almost totally based on the this COVID pill that they announced. So this is really a breakthrough, really breakthrough product. And the prior buy point was 81.21. That's why I'm using that one. So that is a potential opportunity that we might have, even in this market being in a downward trend. And this is just a really tough market to trade because we're in this, we're in this downward trend, and I don't like putting exposure on in these downward trends. But on the other hand, there are some of these opportunities that are just too good. So let's look at Noel, what he thinks about GOGO. Was going to get in the 14 mark but missed out. Well, you may not regret that, because in a market in correction, it's not necessarily want to chase all the shiny objects. I know I have the problem. This is one of the problems that I have as a trader, is that I love to trade, and so I will put on trades when I shouldn't do anything. But the question is, provides in-flight connectivity services. Okay, so this is interesting. You know what? I don't think this one is where you want to be. I wouldn't do this one. Even though it's got a good checklist, I would just be careful. So here's the thing, and I could be so wrong on this, but from what I'm looking at, this is a little bit risky. It does look like it's gotten a bump after hours though, which is very interesting. I just don't know what's going on here. Let's think. I want to see how much this is trading. If it's trading 1 million shares, because I'm not familiar with the stock, of course. Yeah, it's trading 2 million shares, so it's not. I mean, there's a relatively good float. So let's see if we have any. Let's see if we have anything. I just want to kind of look at the checklist. 78, so that's not bad. Does it have? Yeah, it has fund ownership. Look at that. Okay, the industry and sector. This is one of the things that kind of don't like. 172. I'm not really liking that. I'm not feeling the love there. Gosh, what are the options on it? Let's see. Does it have any? Yes, it does. And there is open interest at 19. Yeah, this is pretty thin. I probably would pass on this one, Noel. I probably would pass. I would probably pass on this one for right now. Don't chase. Yeah, don't chase this one. That's kind of my, for what it's worth, advice. I just wouldn't chase this one. I think you got it. I think you just got to be more careful. It's very tempting to do that. It's very, very tempting to do that. But but we're in a market that's pulling back. So we don't want the exposure that we now have. And oh, okay. Do you recommend closing the sell put? Okay. Do you recommend closing the sell put if the put spread go south? I don't know what that means. You recommend closing the sell put if the put. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Um, okay. Yeah. Mark, this is interesting. In my opinion, stay away from Greek shipping. The owners are yes, that is true. That is very, very true, Mark. I think you're really correct on that. The ownership in Greek shipping is questionable. It just happens to come up on my screens. I'm not in it. I'm not in Danos. I'm in the oils. That's sort of where I'm concentrating right now. So I think you're right. There is some issues. That's more of a, yeah, I think there's some truth to what you're saying. I think there's some truth to what you're saying. All right. What's this? MLHR. Let's look at MLHR. MLHR. Oh, Herman Miller, a good company. Very, very good company. Like their desks. Good furniture company. Not a particularly exciting company for my money. But they're showing nice sales increases here. They did lose a little bit of money there. So on the fundamentals, they're kind of so-so. Relative strength 38 is moving down. Let's look at the checklist. Yeah, I think you got to avoid it. Unfortunately, I just think you got to avoid Herman Miller, even though I like their desk. So here's the thing with Herman Miller that I would say just a very quick glance at it. You know, um, you know, so buy their desks, not their stock. So here's the thing. Here's the thing with Herman Miller, and it's I don't know. I think with Herman Miller, what you got to do, it's just buy their desk, not their stock, because I don't really like the chart. I don't really like the chart. I like their furniture, I like their stuff, but I don't think this is going to buy. I mean, yeah, I don't think we're gonna. I don't think this is going to be the way to go. So that's kind of my deal here. All right. Well, I'm almost at the end. I didn't get to everybody's question, and that's not good because I was. Oh, let's look at Sabre. Okay, that's a great one because that's in, of course, then that's based in South Lake, Texas, which is actually a suburb of Dallas. And let's look at how Sabre is doing. They run basically the database for all of the flights. Um, and many years ago now, at the beginning of the dot-com revolution, I was living in San Francisco, and I was involved with a dot-com called Ticket Planet, and we got all of our feeds, all of our data feeds from them. So that was a long time ago when it was still crank phones, and we were operating basically right around Union Square. And so what do I think of this? What do I think of Sabre Corporation? Well, there was a lot of increase in their sales. Absolutely. Look at that, 465%. So that was sort of the catalyst. But we still have a relative strength that's low. Let's kind of see on the daily chart. I want to kind of see what they're doing. Yeah, they're below the 200-day line. I don't like it. I don't like it. But here's what we can do. We can kind of get an idea of, has it reversed higher? That's a good question. Well, it looks like it's just barely peaked its way over that line. So yeah, I mean that is the reversal line right there. So this is the reversal line on Sabre. So obviously we want, you know, um, with the reversal line, what we want to do is we want to make sure that it's above that line. So it is just barely, just peaked its little head above it. We're still below the 50-day line, not liking that, but we're above the 10-day line. I say, Jim, why is that? What are you talking about? Well, here's what I'm talking about. The intermediate till short-term trend is up, but the relatively medium trend, that's the 200-day line, is down. So we haven't really reversed yet. So we got to on this one, Roman, and this is a good one. I think we can't really buy it, unfortunately, because you know, we can't buy this one right now. So with Sabre, the trend is um, up, but it's barely up. So I wouldn't buy. Would buy this yet. I just wouldn't buy this yet. And that's the main thing. I think you could watch list this, but I just think you can't. You know, I just think you can't buy it right now. I just think you can't buy it. It so basically, the Sabre trend is up barely because this is the reversal line, but it's just not a good place to buy this one. So I would not recommend buying Sabre right now. I just wouldn't recommend it. I couldn't recommend it. Again, the ones that I like the best right now are basically AR, CPE, and DAC. Even though DAC, and I think Mark correctly points this out, is a Greek shipping line. Those can be sketch. Those can be very sketchy. So the three symbols that I like the most right now um, are AR, of course, that's Artero Resources, CPE, that's Callum Petroleum, and then Danos, that's the Greek shipping company, DAC, and DAC is fairly large. So I mean, yes, it is a Greek shipping company, but it's not one of the small ones. It's one of the big ones. So those are the three stocks that I like the best right now: AR, CPE, and DAC. But currently, the market is in a downward trend. So we've got to be really, really careful. You know, it's funny. Whenever there's a downward trend like this, you know, I'm always looking to see if I can buy something, which is probably a good idea because I do like to trade. I agree. You know, that's my thing. So sometimes the best thing to do is just to sit on your hands, really. And that's kind of what That's kind of how we have to. That's kind of how we have to look at it. I mean, unfortunately, that's really that's really kind of what you have to do. So so that's pretty much it for the show today. I think let me see if we've got any other questions here. Let's see, Mark C. Good. Mark C. Oh, gee, I figure this choppy market option. Yeah. Let's see what they have to say. Mark C. I figure in this choppy market, option market might be a good time. Um, Yeah, well, actually, options can be very good. I mean, they can be very, very good. Let's look at another question, Mohammed. Thank you. AZO bought 2 days ago, seeing breakout, but got two consecutive negative days. What do you think about it holding? Okay, well, let's look. Let's see if it's worth holding. And in this market, you got to be extra special careful, and you got to be really more kind of more picky and more. You just kind of have to cut your losses very quickly in this market. So you're Mohammed, you're right to think about this one. Of course, AZO is a very large European company. AutoZone, no, it's not European. Okay, here's what I would say with AutoZone. This is the one that really hurt everybody. This is one of the reasons why the other automobile, chains, the retailer chains, have gone down. You know what? We're right down to the buy point, and we're right below that. We're still holding here. Here's what I would do, Mohammed, on this one. I would set my stop loss basically at the 21-day line. So it may bounce, but I would set my line in the sand at about 1640. So that's kind of what I would do. Let's see. Let's put this. So I would set my stop at 1640 for AZO, and that's this is the 21-day line. That's where I would kind of put my line in the sand. I would put it in the sand right there at um, at at the 21-day line. That's right. It basically just kind of put that in there. Yeah, there we go. Oops. That's right here. That's where I would set it. That's where I would set it. So, this is kind of your line in the sand. If you bought it, it was moving nicely up through the pivot. It got some resistance. It pulled back down to the pivot. But this is where I would stick my line in the sand. So that's a good question, Mohammed. It's a very good question, and you know, I wish you had had better luck with that, but I don't think you necessarily want to jump out of it now. But you want it. If it moves below about the 21-day line, I think it's probably going to trend lower. But I think we might get some support. It's at the 10-day line. Looks like it might have some support there. So I would hang on to it at least for right now and see if it'll work. See if it'll work for you. Okay, thank you. Oh yeah, absolutely. Uh, Absolutely. Thank you very much for that, Mark, and thank you for watching today. Well, it is Friday, and I've got a stuff to do. I've got a place to get people to meet and places to see. Um, Thank you so very much for tuning into the show. Tell your friends about Dallas Trading Floor. By the way, I am offering a very special deal. Not that it's the greatest deal in the world, but it's for me it's a good deal. And that is, if you give me three people who sign up for the free action trade alerts, and this is the free trade alerts, I will send you a beautiful Dallas Trading Floor mug. So, and I just want to put this up there for everybody so they can see this beautiful mug. Let's see if I can put it up there. Okay, so, right. So, if you send me some people, please send me some people. Um, by sign, that sign up for the free action trade alerts here. Okay. Um, I will send you free this beautiful Dallas Trading Floor mug, and it is gorgeous. You can use it when you're trading. When you're trading, you every morning, this Dallas Trading Floor mug. Normally it's $6.95, but if you give me three addresses that on the free action trade list, of course it's all free, I'll send you one of these great mugs for that. So thanks again, everybody. Thanks for watching, and tell your friends, of course, get the free mug, and you know get the free mug. And I will see you back here tomorrow on Monday at 3:30. Thanks, everybody. Happy trading. Stay safe. And the market is in a downtrend. Be careful with your positions. Probably time to pull back a little bit, but keep the faith. This market will turn. We're probably going to get a 10, maybe a 10 to 20% correction, but coming out of that, there's going to be some great opportunities. Typically, the last 3 months of the year, October, November, and December, are the three best months. September is almost always a bad month, and it didn't disappoint this year. It wasn't a great month, but we're possibly coming into a very good period. So just build that watch list, and stay safe. And I will be back here on Monday.